has a micro USB jack and of course also a microphone for hands-free calling. You can also use it as a speakerphone, so you don't always need the headset jack, but it's a very nice feature. So all in all, first impressions, a very good looking phone, a very sturdy phone. That's the first thing that I thought when I took it in my hands. I said, like, this really has a good grip. It's slightly bigger than a BlackBerry. If you take a look at this, this is the 8520 if I'm not mistaken, but the spacing of the keyboard is much better and is much more convenient to use if you want to type on that. So we're going to take a look at the operating system of the HTC Chacha, which sports, if I'm not mistaken, Android 2.3. Now, when we power up the HTC Chacha, we will be introduced to the home screen that, of course, is completely customizable. But what is kind of strange is that you have these two menu icons here at the left and the right side of your main screen, which kind of take up some of your screen space. Now, this one goes to your applications menu, and this one goes to your settings menu. And that's actually kind of funny, because if you see that below here you also have 4 touch buttons for your home, your, let's call it right click, your back button, and your search shortcut. It is actually quite kind of strange that HTC chose to put 2 more buttons there, and then when we go down you also have the call reject and call pickup button, which is kind of strange. The keyboard is, in this case, a QWERTY keyboard, and it comes with the special function key to access some of the special features on the keyboard, as for example the letters and the numbers here. And of course there's the Facebook button that immediately launches the Facebook application. Now, if we take a look at the screen here, it is a pretty interesting device, especially if you can see that there is the touchscreen ability to go left and right, of course, across the several home screens. And where a big home screen wasn't always convenient or necessary with a larger display device, this is actually a little bit more convenient to go from left to right. If you want to access all of your home screens, you can just squeeze them shut and choose whichever home screen that you want to use. For example, you can also ask it. I think I pressed a search button here. You can also add your own widgets, of course. This doesn't always work just like that, but you can just easily add widgets. Let's just see if we can have a nice widget here. There you go. Another weather widget. Probably not a good idea. There you go. You can just add widgets to those home screens, and when you hold the phone, it's actually very convenient to switch home screens from left to right and access all of the icons that you want to. I had customized this model a little earlier this week and put all of my applications on there, but I have wiped it for the purposes of this review. But what I must say is that even though the screen is pretty small, you still have plenty of room to do your thing. Even browsing on the internet, and this is going to be with a built-in browser, is not that bad. You can see I can just easily search. I'll decline to share my location here. You can just easily search whatever you want to search for just using the keyboard. And because you don't have an on-screen keyboard, you actually have a large physical keyboard that you search with, it does actually work quite well. Zoom is, of course, essential when it comes to screens as big and as small as this one, and you have the option to have multiple tabs open and look at different things at the same time, and just scrolling back and forth between the different screens that you have open. Don't mind the bells that you hear outside. I'm not at the St. Peter's Square in Rome. That's just the local church going all ding-dong on me because it's 6 o'clock. Now, as you can see, the browser is pretty good. The screen isn't that small, but the fact that I can zoom in and out quite easily, it is taking its time to render all this. It does look very good. The resolution of the screen is excellent, and even a screen as small as this, well, let me just put it a little bigger. I think if I put it like that, I can easily read through it. The screen is responsive, the processor is fast enough to take care of all the scrolling, and you don't have to do much scrolling from left to right, and if you do, it does work quite well. Now, the Chacha also comes, of course, with a camera, which has a front-facing and a back-facing camera. So we'll just go to the front-facing camera here. See if we can make a nice picture of something. Hold on. There you go. Let's see if that works. Sorry. There you go. So you see, just put a shot of one of my things, one of my keyboards there. So we'll go to the menu, and we can easily zoom in, and you can see that the quality of the shot taken is actually quite good. It has a built-in flash. The only thing that it also has is that the lens is slightly protruding the casing of the Chacha, but in order to fix that, they have put this plastic ring around it. But if you do put it down, it doesn't really work that well, because you put the phone down on the lens. As you can see, the quality of the pictures are amazingly good. This is one that I took with Niana when we went shopping this week, and there are several filters inside that let you see, that let you immediately process those pictures. So it's basically standard Android 3.2 software, but for a device that only has 800 megahertz and 512 megabytes of RAM, this baby is pretty fast. There is also a camera on board, and I'll see if I can launch the video that I recorded here.
On the edge of real and cyberspace, there's one place you can go, and you found it. Welcome to KWTV.
So you see there's also the onboard speaker here, there's the onboard camera. This is filmed using the different facing camera. Let's say front or back, always mess those up. See if I can show you that one. There you go. There you are. A lot of light, not so good. So it has a little bit of a hard time adjusting. But you have the front and the rear facing camera here, and the VGA camera is pretty good even for video. So that is a pretty nifty device for that money. Battery time. This baby takes about a night to charge, and if you leave both the GPRS and the Wi-Fi on, it will take you through the better part of the day. So for a little phone like that, this is a very, very convenient phone. I'll talk about some killer applications a little bit later on, and about things that I don't like about it, but we'll get right back after we show you a little demonstration of the HD video filmed with the HTC Chacha in action.
Guys, stuck in traffic on my way to work near Eindhoven in the rain, so I decided it would be a good idea to test the front-facing camera on the HTC Chacha, which is, by the looks of it, pretty good. I was really amazed at the fact that this baby packed both a front and a rear end video camera. I'll check the specs for the recording quality. I think the rear end camera is VGA, the front end might be an HD camera. I'll give you the specs in the show notes as well. But I am really impressed by this low-end device from HTC, with its very good and firm form factor with the aluminum unibody. We have a very nicely spaced keyboard. It is a little big in your hands, but it does offer you a lot of functionality and ease of working when it comes down to using the HTC Chacha. So I'll give you a shot of the front end camera and the rear end camera so you can compare the video quality on the HTC Chacha. Well, giving you a little bit of a sample video of the HTC's front camera. It does have some digital zoom as well, and it comes with the use of the standard microphone from HTC. As you can see, there's not a lot to see today. It's really rainy outside. I am stuck in traffic near Eindhoven, as I said a little earlier. Traffic is gently picking up, so I'm going to leave this video be and focus on traffic, because that's important. But I just want to give you some examples on how the HTC really works.
Now, People might say, okay, this is not a multimedia phone, and it probably isn't, but this is one of the phones where you type on really fast. And the smaller display is actually quite handy when you take a look at the big keyboard. Because this is not a multimedia phone, this is not a phone that you use to watch movies and stuff on, or perhaps surf around a lot, but this is one that you type on very, very, very fast. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this, and this is going to be quite geeky, this is the application ConnectBot. ConnectBot allows you to set up an SSH terminal connection to your server, and this is one of the servers that we have inside the house here. This is one of my Linux servers that I can control from my phone. Now, the screen is just perfect. There we go, the resolution, the focus of the camera isn't very good, but the screen is just perfect for this. If you just see, I'll just call up the application HTOP, which is a Linux command line application that actually lets me see how busy my server is. And I mean, there are more applications like this, like for example, IRSSI, that favorite chat application that I've used for such a long time and that I still use every day on my desktop, but that I can now use on this phone. And just because it has this touch interface, it is so nice. So, final report on the HTC Chacha. Well, the name sucks. It sounds like a woman's phone. And for girls it might be amazing. If you post Facebook posts or tweets with this and it says posted from my HTC Chacha, it does sound a bit girlish, and the color is perhaps not that, but aside from that, this is an amazing little tool. This is a great phone. 300 euros. This is probably, if you're into physical keyboards, one of the best phones that you can buy at the moment. Android 3.2 gives you all of the options. The screen might not be that big, but that's okay. The battery is okay. It gets you through the day. Perhaps not 2 days like the HTC Desire that I have, but it's pretty good. And I must say, the form factor and the way it lies in your hand, this is a very interesting phone. As I said, we might need to call a surgeon to surgically separate me from this device, because if I need to choose between the comfort of typing on my HTC Desire Z with 2 thumbs, or just absently thumbing away on the HTC Chacha with 1 thumb, I might just take that smaller screen and roll with it because I really like this. Luckily, I'm a lucky guy. I got to test this one for work, and this is my private phone, but it was still nice to test both HTC models. So, the HTC Chacha, great phone. Somebody call a surgeon. We need to get this off me before I completely grow attached to it. Now, if you will excuse me, I have to be very geeky, and I have to continue my RSS, my SSH connection to my server. Let me just see here. Where's the slash this and that server, and I'll just chat away on my Linux server that is remotely hosted as a VM using a SSH tunnel over an edge connection on an Android phone with a HTC casing, and you know, it doesn't get any geekier than this. The name sucks, the color's not that good, but for the rest, this is probably one of the geekiest phones that you can buy for that money, and I really love it. The HTC Chacha.
Well, guys and girls, that's all we have time for on this episode of KWTV, where we reviewed the HTC Chacha. As you can see, with a car mount and a little bit of creative engineering, it is actually possible to turn this thing that is not only a smartphone into a complete mobile recording video or camera studio. I don't think that's really the idea, but you know, it's okay. My hands are on the wheel, eyes are on the road, and I get to say goodbye to you in a little bit of style. As you can see, for 300 euros, this is practically the most versatile thing that you can buy from HTC, and I am surely having a lot of fun with it. That was it for this week on the KWTV episode. You know where to find us, www.nightwise.com, that's KNIGHTWISE.com, where you'll find out everything that we talk about, and of course also the show notes and everything. If you want to get in touch with us, www.nightwise.com is the website, and twitter.com/nightwise is of course